Hey folks, my first video on The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, as the game being known as that, was about 5 secrets in the title and release date reveal trailer. You all seemed to enjoy that video very much, so I went hunting for more secrets. More interesting and maybe out there secrets, details, and just stuff in the trailer in general that you may have missed. Get comfy, and as always, be sure to go and grab yourself a snack or drink and send them in to get featured right here, and also be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already, it really helps the channel out. And let's get into this one. Going in no particular order this time, let's start with the malice creeping beneath this figure. Whilst watching the trailer live, and even a few times afterwards, I honestly didn't notice this red painting, most likely malice, is creeping up beneath whoever this is. Speaking of which, I originally thought that this was Ganondorf, but as many of you have now pointed out, and many have theorised about, the ears in particular don't match up with Ganondorf. However, they do with Zelda, and so does the rest of the depiction. Anyway, in these opening shots, we see a lot of red malice mixed in and around this horde of monsters. It's clearly depicting malice in my opinion, and that would make sense. However, once you notice this very interesting bit of malice beneath Zelda, and it's honestly quite easy to miss at first glance, questions begin to form. Very interesting questions too. Which event exactly is this carving depicting? Has it happened already? And if so, how long ago? Or could this actually be a prophecy? Something that hasn't happened yet and is going to happen? The first game had a focus on prophecies and whatnot. Perhaps the sequel will too, but in a more personal sense. Going off the red malice creeping beneath Zelda, it reminds me of the opening of the second trailer. We see malice attacking Link, Ganondorf awakening, and Zelda falling at the beginning of that one. Could that fall and this carving be connected? My speculative take currently is yes, and I believe they are. Maybe Ganondorf somehow gets her with his malice. Maybe it leads to another possessed Zelda appearance. I'd honestly love to see possessed Zelda return, but that is more imaginative now. Either way, it's a very interesting detail that's very easy to miss. What on earth could this mean? Next up is this presumed cave seen in the shot within the Faron region. In one of the scenes of this new trailer, we see Link using the already seen reversal mechanic to shoot himself into the sky whilst latching onto a rock. But behind it, many fans have noticed and spotted out that a cave has apparently opened up behind it. In the first game, in this location, this cave definitely wasn't present and begs the questions of how did this open up, and more interestingly, what's inside. We know the sequel, Tears of the Kingdom, will have at least a large focus to some degree on caves and the underground for a portion of the game. As to the extent of how much, we can't say yet, but the possibilities are in theory endless. For all we know, there will be tons of cave entrances all over the overworld, and a whole underworld of ruins, dungeons, and caves to explore. It could also be simply just one path down to Ganondorf though, and this cave is just a random opening with not much inside. It's an interesting little piece of the trailer to notice, as it shows us a change to the existing overworld, and could be hinting at something we'll maybe find all across Hyrule. Something that would give us a good reason to explore the kingdom again, possibly in relation to locating Ganondorf, or even just expanding the world. But hey, this is in the age of speculation. For all we know, it's just a mini cave with some ore deposits or something along those lines. Or maybe it's something we can't even imagine yet. That would be pretty cool as well. Now for one I'm sure many of you noticed, but maybe not closely. This bird, pterodactyl looking thing seen flying in the sky as Link himself flies into the sky with the reversal mechanic. The same scene as the last secret actually, just a little bit further in. Now the creature itself isn't a secret at all, nor interesting. I mean, it's literally there. But it is interesting in the sense that it's something we haven't seen before, at least not in this time frame and in this style. It reminds me of the flying creatures Argoroks and Kargoroks. Perhaps it is the same family or even a new version of those. What this neat inclusion tells me is that we could have more air-based enemies in store for us. I'm a big advocate for the return of Air Alphos, and this new creature gives me hope for their return. There could also be larger versions of this creature too. Just imagine what's up here. I imagine it is present this low because whatever is going on up in the sky is slowly spilling to the surface, dropping down slowly, much like tears. Tears of the Kingdom. And sea. I love unnecessary dramaticness. Looking closely at the Sky Islands, or Skylands, can show and tell us a few different things. Mostly mysterious things, but all interesting regardless. However, one detail spotted by many fans now is what appears to be a dragon tail behind one of the islands. I first noticed this thanks to Nintendo Black Crisis' analysis, and have ever since been curious as to if this is a dragon, and if so, what implications that has on the game, exploring the sky, and just generally what it's doing up here. We saw in Breath of the Wild the 3 dragons go into these portals after appearing in Hyrule. Where do these portals lead? Perhaps it's connected to these islands. I definitely think there must be a connection to the dragons from the first game. It certainly looks like a dragon tail. It's a little hard to tell from this slightly blurry shot, but it definitely appears like one. Another cool thing I've been thinking about regarding this is the possibility of riding the dragons through the Skylands. It's a crazy idea if I'm being honest, but it would be incredibly cool. Honestly, if it is a dragon, and it probably is, I just want to learn more about what they do up here, why they're here, their presence, the lore, everything. Tell me. Or, sorry, let me learn. Lastly, I want to bring a sort of interesting secret that is widespread across the entire trailer, and that is the architectural inspiration behind some of these designs. Many of them appear to be inspired by Mesoamerican architecture. Now, the reason I bring this up is because of how similar some of the designs in this trailer are to this real-life architecture style, and a very special shout out to my friend and Discord mod, Twink, a pale twink, for pointing all of this out to me shortly after the recent trailer dropped. I appreciate it very, very much. Thank you. I don't really have much to say, to be honest, other than simply letting you all take a look at some comparisons I've put together for you. It's all very interesting. If you're interested in seeing more and nerding out on this just as we have, just search up Mesoamerican architecture and compare them to some of the structures seen in the trailer. It could play a very important role going forward when we see more architecture from the game. It's also just really cool to see where Nintendo and the Zelda team get their inspiration from sometimes. Thanks for listening to me talk about some more secrets and whatnot that I've noticed in the trailer and hyper fixated on for days. Now that the dust has settled a bit more following the drop of that trailer, I can honestly say that my excitement for this game has just shot up a ton. We still know very little, to be honest, in terms of the full game, as the 3 trailers so far were all teasers. Very, very exciting teasers, but teasers nonetheless, some with the purpose being for information reveals as well. There is still at the very least an official game trailer to come, probably closer to release, and most likely some gameplay showcases beforehand. I cannot wait to see more. Oh, and shout out to my biggest fan, my partner by the way, who just recently got a tattoo with my channel initials. Here it is on screen. Be sure to drop a wee like down below if you enjoyed, and also consider subscribing for more fabulous Zelda content. Both would make my day. Follow my socials linked below to keep up to date, and as always, a huge, massive, amazing shout out goes to all of my channel supporters, with a very special and slightly late, sorry about that, Tears of the Kingdom has just had me so focused on videos, a very special shout out to new members, Faradu, Mascor, Highly Unlikely, and Jean. I'm sorry if I butchered any of your names, I'm horrible for it. I'm sorry. Message me the correct pronunciation if I did. Thanks a ton. Your support really helps me to make these videos week in, week out, all month long, 365 days a year. If you'd like to join them and get yourself a shout out upon joining and your name at the end of every video, then consider supporting via the links below. Thanks for watching. I hope you all have an amazing day or night, and until the next time, I've been Hyrule Gamer.